Hi guys. Happy close to end of the week. Um, I was gonna upload this video on Friday, which is tomorrow, but maybe I'll just upload it today. And yeah, I wrote a few things yesterday in my journal, and I want to talk about sketchbooks and why I'm making so many of these vlogs because I have a bad addiction to buying sketchbooks, but most of them are like empty, and I think part of it is like the excitement of the potential of what the sketchbooks could be. But then, like, it's been a few years since I completely finished a book, so my goal for this year is to finish as much as possible of the bunch that I have. And I think why I avoid finishing the sketchbooks is because I want the work to be like perfect, and then like instead of seeing each page as like own individual entity in a way, or like a quick sketch, I like my past mentality was like each spread should be like a work of art. And also, like, another part of what I've been struggling with my art is like trying to find a balance in like the composition, because um I'm a maximalist. I like to fill the pages to the brink, but also like sometimes the art itself doesn't have enough like negative space or breathing room for the viewer's eye to go to different places of the page. But then when I get too minimalist, I don't really like the work also. I'm hoping to like, by recording more of these videos, I could hold myself more accountable of actually finishing this sketchbook. And one way that I've been doing it is that I try to do like a page of warm-up sketches before starting a larger piece. But also, like yesterday, I just spent like 4 or 6 hours just filling the sketchbook itself. And this part is the beaver drawing from Monday that I didn't finish recording the time lapse of. And I don't know why, I'm like, the way the sky turns out later is like very psychedelic looking, but also reminds me of like the temperature maps of the globes, which I kind of like because, as I mentioned in the earlier video, it is about like animal and nature preservation and wildlife. And yeah. Also, like, having these like RTX markers for like about a month or two now, I feel like I wouldn't buy them again because um they I feel like it's like two double-sided tips, and like the binder of the acrylic and the pigment, like on some of them separated, and then using the marker tips against paper, like the marker tips started to fuzz out. Yeah, but I do kind of like the pastel set that I had on site with the white casing that I like. But maybe I'll try a different brand of acrylic markers. In the past I used Posca, but I don't think they're worth the price, and for the range of colors, I don't really care for Posca markers. Originally, the time lapse of this video was like 24 minutes long, but then I speed up every segment by like, I quadruple the speed, so that's why it's only 9 minutes long. But I don't think I have much to say even in this 9 minute time span. Ooh, Recently I read a book where I wrote it in my little planner. Um, Sorry, looking for the title. Oh, okay. Recently, I read a book called Cassandra in Reverse by Holly Smale, Smale, and I I rated a 7 out of 10, and I think one of the main interesting aspects of this book is that the main character Cassandra, she's autistic, but I didn't read that part. So like reading it from her perspective, like she has all these little quirks, like she wear a jumpsuit with a certain color on a certain day, or like she's obsessed with like Greek mythology, or like how she gets irritated by the way other people do something. And like I think this book gives a good perspective from what autistic people experience on a daily basis, but then coming from their point of view, like there's nothing wrong with how they feel or interpret the world, but then also like other people in society aren't also aware of their autism. And then another book that I read recently that I rated 8.5 out of 10 is called Raised by Wolves by James Patterson and Emily Raymond. And I like books that I guess I like books that deals with animals and like fantasies and like the idea of like animals, like I don't know. But these kids, the perception was that they were raised by wolves, and then they went into a like grocery store, and then they started eating Doritos and like drinking the Gatorade, but then like they were super intelligent, and how could they be like raised by wolves if but then speak English and all that stuff. I think it's a really good read. And then I'm currently reading a book called Sister with a Side of Greens by Michelle Stimpson, and it's a pretty good book so far. It's about these two sisters, either in their 50s or 60s, and one just retired from the postal service, and then the other one, she used to cook for her church, but the church is being like gentrified, trying to gain more new churchgoers, and they're connected by their mother's spice recipe. Yeah, but I haven't finished the book yet. So those are all the books that I read so far. I've been also trying to read more books this year. That's another goal. Okay, goodbye.